right, I think we are good. Hello there. What is going on, everyone? We are getting set up to kind of relax a little bit in the afternoon and do a little painting. And I'm going to use the wet palette for this. I've been using some metallics, some water on here because this thing is dry. Okay. Pour a little bit of water. All right. So love the wet palette. And hello, everybody that's joining us. I don't know if any of you guys follow me on Facebook at all, but I will sometimes. I've been posting a little bit more content there, and I'm trying to make Facebook and Twitter a little bit different. Really just to branch out. You know, there was a scare last year with some YouTube content, and I thought it looks like a lot of YouTube stuff might go away because of the fear of like children watching videos and all of that stuff. So ever since then, I've been trying to work on diversifying myself a little bit. Dry wet palette does not work. That's a pro tip right there. Let's see, I'm trying to get a little closer. Hold on, I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. All right. So we've got this. Yeah, now it's there. But basically, I've been trying to work on spreading out social media a little bit more and having more, and I think there's opportunities there because there's certain things. Like if I want a really short video, I think Facebook's a good place for that, or also the 3D photos when I take pictures of battlefields and kind of stuff like that. But then sometimes I just want to say something short, and Twitter's a good place for that. And a lot of Star Wars people are on Twitter too, so that's like there's just a different audience there. And so basically, but anyway, on flatten the social media curve, right? So basically, I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is one of the wow, somebody's going crazy outside. But basically, these are Imperial terrain walls, and I haven't really painted them. I had them kind of painted a little bit, but I've been doing a little bit with them. This is color shift paint, and depending on the angle you look at them, they go from kind of a purple to the greenish blue. You see right there. Yeah, that's kind of a good way to do it. Now I did this with the airbrush, and I kind of showed these off a little bit the other day, but I've added a little bit of silvering, and I'm adding some highlights and stuff, but I also want to do a little bit on the inside as well. And that's going to be the type of stuff I think I'm working on today. Trying to do some of that interior for this whole setup. Let me see, which pieces do I want to do? Like this one has got a box in there. This one's got some crates in there. And so I think we're going to do that. It was a fun little set of pieces, though. So pastel. It does look a little bit pastel. I got like some metallic blue there for some of this, and I did a little bit of like silvery stuff on the gratings, and then of course, I got this little control panel here. So kind of like maybe some red for the wires. I think I'll do some red for the wiring. So I'm using that. How is everybody's week going? How is your quarantine going? Hopefully it's going well. Well, and a lot of people are asking me, did I get my Chrome X-Wing away? Yeah, or did I get a Chrome N1? So like I in my video this morning, I talked about the Chrome N1 a little bit. I've had a huge number of people offer me their codes, which was really, really nice. I did actually, except from one person, I did actually get a code from somebody who wasn't going to need it, and it's funny how many people like I've applied for a code and ended up not needing it, and it's one of those things that that happens, I guess, when you find out you've got really expensive international shipping and all kinds of other things like that. So that's something that happened. But yes, so please don't offer me any more codes. I'm only going to get the one. I'm not going to accept any codes from anybody else. One is all I need, and hopefully that's one is all anybody needs, because we don't want them to end up, on eBay and all of that. So that's where I stand there. So thank you, though. I'm actually really touched. There was a huge amount of support, and so like you guys are really, really kind, and I definitely appreciate all the thoughts. So thank you very much. All right, we're just gonna do this whole wire. This red has a huge contrast with this, and yeah, a lot of my terrain I was very late to paint. Like a lot of stuff I did just like a base coat and like a little bit of like a gray or something like that, and made like all my buildings look metallic. And I'm like, I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to change them up a little bit. And since I got the new Airbrush now too, I can have a lot more options on what I want to do. And so the color shift worked really fun in the Airbrush. So I thought that was a really fun thing. I think some people may have probably sent multiple emails with multiple codes. I think that's certainly a possibility. Even though I try to discourage people from doing that, there's just no stopping people from doing stuff they got their mind made up on, and it is what it is. But I do expect there to be some N1s that go back up for sale on the 21st when they eventually put them out there. The things that makes it so ridiculous is like you could sell your code, right? Like if you didn't, like, instead of having to eBay and then actually ship something, you could just sell somebody the code and then just give them the code, which is really weird because there's no way to verify that, and there's no way to, like, what are you gonna do? Dispute it with FFG? I'm like, he used this code and then didn't pay me for it, what would you do there? And FFG would be like, hey, no way, we're not helping you out. That'd actually be really funny if somebody tried to like call. That's like trying to. I saw a video of somebody calling the police and saying that this person stole their weed or something like that. It's just weird. Like if you're doing something unethical, then you run risks. I certainly don't advocate doing things unethical, but all right. Oh, I gotta get the side of this one too. I'm using one of my finer brushes for this. So how's everybody doing today? Yeah, we got some interesting stuff coming for Legion. But thank you for the, thanks to Bruno, who says, thank you for all the amazing content, especially the Legion stuff. There's been a lot more Legion stuff lately. It's easier to make, for me to make Legion content because there's been a lot of Legion news lately, a lot less X-Wing and Armada news, although at least with the N1, it gives us something to talk about with X-Wing. Armada really hasn't had any news in a while, and that's kind of the part for the course for Armada, but I'm definitely eager for some news. I'm trying to get some exclusives from FFG, but that almost never happens, so I wouldn't worry about it. And for some of you guys saying you didn't get a code either, just check back on the 21st. I hope you can get one. I hope you can. That would be nice. It's just something like that. It's just so hard to come up with a real accurate way to give, the people who, everybody who would really make use of it, make sure that everybody gets one and make sure that it's fair. And to come up with a system like that, that doesn't screw anybody or doesn't harm anyone, that's ethical and legal and all of that stuff. I guess one thing, and now somebody has said to me before, well, just take pre-orders and then everybody can get as many as they need and then make them after the fact. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get that, but that's doesn't apply to this situation. And the reason why is because this was supposed to be a convention exclusive, so they had to make them in advance. So they only have so many, and as you know, as a result, they can't take pre-orders because they're already done making them. And I don't know how difficult it would be to make more, but I believe with limited edition print runs and things that are exclusive, I believe there are barriers to making more. One thing that would be really cool, speaking of convention exclusives, that Darth Vader sculpt was supposed to be exclusive for 1 year. Which Darth Vader sculpt am I talking about? It's the Star Wars Celebration exclusive Darth Vader. That was supposed to be exclusive for 1 year minimum. Well, we are about at that 1 year mark, like right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if like next month they announce like another way to get like that pose. It may not be identical to the Star Wars Celebration thing, but I bet you maybe we can get a hard plastic version of it or something like that. That would be pretty cool. All right, so we've got some boxes and crates I'm going to do in here. And as I pull out other colors, I'll do some of those other buttons in there as well. That'll be pretty cool. I'm feeling, what should we do? Like, maybe a white? No, maybe, what is this one? That's gold. That one's a little too bright. I feel like this flesh tone might work for one. Let's try the flesh tone. Shake these up real good, though. All right. Let's see. All right. Don't need that much. I'm using a big old brush because I'm not going to be too precise here. And plus this absorbs paint really, really easily. Perfect. Perfect. That's what I was looking for. The trick here is not to hit the wall because this is actually, part of the wall. Don't want it to hit the wall. All right, let's see. Let's look at some. Do I sand 3D printed terrain before priming? No. Do you think I should? I've never sanded anything that was 3D printed. Not sure. I think I've heard of people saying that they've done that. I'm not sure how necessary it is. And in this case, this was a piece that I had painted a long time ago, and I was repainting it. And the red that you're seeing here is like a whole different paint job that kind of like I've gone over, and it's got multiple layers. There was like a black prime, and then a gray base coat over that, and then I think a blue, and then a red, and then more black, and then some gray, and then of course the glossy black before I put the color shift on there, because you have to do gloss black for that. And I wonder if sanding it would have helped with the glossy black, like not soak in or sink in so much to the stuff. Let's see. We got any more? Let's see. Depending on the paint job, the print lines can blend in nice. Sure, yeah, that makes sense. Mackie says, I am new to Legion and want to buy one core set. Should I get the classic one or the Clone Wars one? I am a total noob painting and building minis. Well, honestly, that really depends on what you want to play and what your favorite movie is, what your favorite units are. If you're new to Legion, assuming you don't have, I'm not sure what your budget is, but a lot of people will start with just one faction, or maybe two at least, or maybe two if they're wanting multiples because of the same core set. But yeah, like if you want to play Empire, then you want to go with the classic core set. If you want to play Clone Wars, then you go with the Clone Wars core set. So if you want clones or separatists, go with the Clone Wars core set. If you want Empire or Rebels, go with the classic core set. The other differences between them are not that numerous, but there it's worth pointing out that there are some corrected print things in the Clone Wars core set, because that is the more recent one. So there are, yeah, some things that you should be aware of, and like rapid reinforcements got changed, and then they corrected it in the Clone Wars core set, and things like that. All right, we got another one. I don't know if I want this one to be the same color as that. Definitely don't do the one army concept. I'm not sure. Wait, one army would be only one faction, right? Or I buy everything, and that certainly has hurt me in the past, and in the present, and probably in the future. Oh, this purple paint was not mixed very well, because this came out very watery. I didn't shake this one up. Now I'm using this Vallejo purple. Well, why would you not suggest doing the one army faction? That I don't understand. You said that it hurt your bank account, so I don't understand why doing one army would hurt your bank account. That sounds like that's a good thing to help your bank account, not to hurt it. Unless you just misspoke. I don't know. Or maybe I misunderstood you. Oh, this is a pretty purple. Some of these paints are paints I got for Christmas that I haven't used yet. Because I did a lot of purple on my Rebels when I first got them, and kind of regretted a lot of those early paint jobs. And in my last live stream, I was stripping my Rebels and stuff, and so here they are now. They're all stripped and reprimed, and so I'm going to be working on these guys at one point. Yeah. Oh, yes. Are you guys listening to any good audiobooks or podcasts lately? Anybody listening to Double Critical podcast, by the way? Gotta plug the brand, you know. We've got some new merch down. If you look in the Teespring, like the links, the pictures that'll show up like below the video, depending on where you're watching. We've got new merchandise there. Maybe I should put a link to the actual storefront also, because I think if you're watching on mobile, you might not see the new stuff. But I've been listening to a bunch of different podcasts. Let's see. Yeah, listen to the Fifth Trooper podcasts, them and Notorious Scoundrels. Sometimes I listen to Outriders, and also Stabcast. I just started listening to Stabcast, and so also it helps because Ryan from the Stabcast is on the RPG show I'm doing with Fifth Trooper, which is the Recover the Supplies. By the way, if you guys haven't seen Recover the Supplies, it's a treat, man. You really should. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't check it out, because it's really cool. All right, what are these ammo cases? Maybe these should be green. I'm thinking those ammo cases should be green. That's what I am thinking. Warlock Holmes series by G.S. Denning. Oh, interesting. Warlock Holmes. I don't think I've heard of that. I do very much listen to all of the Harry Dresden books, and absolutely can't wait for the next Dresden Files to come out. That's one I'm very, very much looking forward to. I'm curious if any of you guys are Dresden Files fans or not. Jim Butcher, maybe my favorite author of all time, maybe. He's certainly a contender. I mean, Timothy Zahn is certainly up there, you know, and oh gosh, I can't think of his name, but whoever has written The Expanse is really up there as well. All right, so here we go. I think I was out of the shot. Let's try this. Oh, all right. I'm gonna probably put some wash or something over that. We do. We get 2 books this year for Dresden Files, which is, while that's cool, I almost wonder, like, wait a second, is that dangerous? Is this like, is this all we're gonna get? Is it gonna be like, hey, you got 2 books right now, and then it's gonna go back to like 10 years before you get another book? That's what I kind of worry about with Dresden. But I'm not really worried. It's just more of a playful worry. Yeah, that's exciting though. That's really exciting for the Dresden Files. Oh, that came out good. And I've got some, I think I'll put like a brown rusty kind of wash on those afterwards. I think that'll be cool. And I'm gonna do both of the ammo cans in green, or both of the groupings of ammo cans in green. Oh my goodness, my kids are, I think he's playing Fortnite in the other room and he's just shut. I swear, I think Fortnite is nothing more than a chat room where a bunch of kids just shout, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God," over and over and over again. That's what Fortnite is, right? I mean, in my house, that's what it is. It's just like, sometimes they're not even actually playing, they're just chatting with each other. And it reminds me when I used to play MMOs, and I used to, like, if you've ever played WoW or EverQuest, I used to play EverQuest too, but like, you always get to this point where you're waiting for something, or you find yourself just running around and jumping and running and jumping, like, for no reason other than you're just doing it, almost like a nervous twitch. Like, have you guys ever done that? But like, I feel like that's what they do in Fortnite now. But since it's all voice chat, they're like just like shouting at each other, and oh man, it drives me crazy. Kids, they're so loud. They're so loud. All right. Okay, that one's good. All right, now I want to do some wash on some of these containers. I don't know if I'll do any wash up here in this stuff. I might, though. Actually, I've got some black wash. Let me see. Let me take a look. Let's not get through. Okay. I think for the top, I'm going to use Opulentus Black from Green Stuff World. It's a darker black wash, and it's an ink technically, but and it's a very intense ink. That's why they call it intensity ink. I want a good thick brush for this one. I think this one will work. This one will probably be good enough for that. But I'm going to mix it with a little bit of water. I almost want it to be thin enough to get in there. I don't know if that's going to make much of a difference. I'll be honest, I don't know if that's making much of a difference. I don't know. But I'll do it for the rest of them. See, because sometimes it looks a little different when it dries, too. But I'm going to need a lot more because it's a very porous grating. So, all right, set you over there so I don't redo the same ones multiple times. Got Metallica stuck in my head right now. All right, let's check comments real quick because I'm looking away. Yo, Sean is watching, hanging out with us. A brown wash. Yeah, definitely on these guys and on the ammo cans. I'm definitely going to do the brown wash there. Just doing the black up here first. And so I got this tank paint set up at Hobby Lobby. And it's got, it was like a Panzer tank set. It had like 8 or something like a Vallejo paints. It had like a dark brown, a light brown, a whole bunch of browns. They're mostly all browns. This brown, that brown, dark rust, and some airbrush colors, and all of these, right? Model Air. And I like that because, like, those you don't even have to thin them out. But let me show you this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this wash. I'm going to try this wash out. Oxide Claro Light Rust. That's going to be a fun one, especially for green. Oh, I can't wait to try it out and see. It'll be fun. Okay. But, yeah, well, I hate Hobby Lobby as a business because of some of the things that they've done to their employees with this COVID-19 thing. But I do like the product selection there, you know. And it's okay to appreciate two different things. But, yeah, you get that, you know, like the whole paint set, then you get the 40% off coupon off of any one item, and that's treated as one item. And so you're already getting a discount because you're bundling the whole paint set together. So, you know, instead of like if you buy one paint at Hobby Lobby, it's like $6, so it's like highway robbery. But this way, it was like $2 per paint. So that was like, and it went from a terrible deal to like an amazing deal because of the bundle and because of the coupon. So that much is fun. All right, and I think this is the last one. I don't have much wash left in my palette here, so this one I'll do thinner. Oh, that would be all right. We're done with that one. I want to try this brown wash. All right. So, all right. Clinton says, I want a Jedi Heroes pack, like Mace Windu, Plo Koon, Kit Fisto, etc. Oh, my goodness. That would be awesome. I don't think they would ever give us that many awesome Jedi in a single pack. I just don't see that happening. Don't see it happening. Like, as wishful thinking, for sure. I feel like that green is still a little wet. All right, I'm going to try this dark brown wash on this yellow container first. All right. Man, I can't wait for this freaking lockdown to be over. I want to do some gaming. Sean, if you're still watching, we still got a Twilight Imperium 4th edition game to make up for. Oh, yes, we do. I ain't forgotten about that. And, yep, a lot of gaming to do. I think there's going to be a lot of celebratory gaming that happens once the world opens back up. But I am also afraid that Gen Con is going to get canceled now as like dates keep getting pushed back. FFG just kind of talked about they're canceling all OP events all the way up until July 29th. And I'm like, oh, the day before Gen Con starts, huh? You know, like that's rich, you know. But so now like the bar has been pushed back all the way up until the day of Gen Con. And all that's going to take is one more spring breaker out there or one more, you know, dumb group of people to start everything up again. No, still wet. All right, let's try it. Ooh, that looks good. This is a really light wash, but it's going to do a really, like, it really makes it look like, I'm going to try and get it closer. Makes it look like ammo cans a lot more now. And so the reason I got this whole kit, this brown kit, was for the AAT. Yeah, this is the wash. This is this one right here, this Vallejo Rust Wash. And it's going to, of course, we're going to have to wait and see because if it's rust, it's probably going to dry very, very differently. So we'll have to see how it looks when it dries. But yeah, that's the look of it right now compared to the other green one. Wow, I can't even, hold on. I can get them both at the same time if I do them like this, right? Boop. Yeah, all right. I'm going to do it on both, though. Yep. Might do it a little bit lighter on this other one. No, not that much lighter. Oh, that one still had a lot of wet green. But yeah, so for the AAT, I'm definitely going to want to do it kind of in traditional colors. If I end up getting a second one, then I can have more fun with the second one. But money's been real tight lately, man. Like YouTube, like views are down. A lot of other unrelated things are all down. Like nobody's watching videos anymore, and so that's certainly affected me. A lot of other stuff that I'm not going to get into has all been affected too. So that much is crazy. So it's been a really interesting time. That's for sure. All right, I need I got purple, green. Oh, I'm gonna try just to see the effect. I don't know if it'll show up because I got this purple one, but I'm gonna try this green, Viridis green intensity wash on the purple. Wait a second. No. I don't think that's gonna work. I am gonna try a candy ink. Candy ink. These are like really bright, shiny. They have almost a gloss to them. They're more like contrast paints. And I'm gonna put that over this one to see if I can make it kind of almost glitter or glow. That's a cool idea. All right. Whoa, that's not shaken up enough. That's almost like white pearlescent part come out. Oh, all right. I put way too much of that out. But that's okay. I've never used that one before, so that one really needed to be shaken up. Oh, that looks kind of cool going on. Really glossy. And I don't mind that for a cargo container. Plus, that'll be a really stark contrast against the metallics and the rough kind of look of everything else. That's kind of cool, man. I don't mind it. Have a little color to the board, just a little bit. That's a big thing with a piece of terrain like this. I want to get some more walls from this set to have like a whole. I'd love to have a whole map using like walls like this, but I need more that are like broken and more doorways and more access. But it's funny though because like this whole wall set is so not like an FFG tournament table because you've got so much that's getting blocked. Like there's so much line of sight blocking terrain. Like this is a good type of terrain if you want to run like Wookiees or B2s or Fleet Troopers, anything that's, or heck, Royal Guard, anything that's got that range 2 attack and is kind of stuck. Like, well, that's pretty, man. That's really pretty. You know what? What if I did something else with that? I've got this other barricade. Since I had to squeeze so much of that paint out and I don't want it to go to waste, I'm going to do some sections of this barricade because I don't like this particular wall anyway. So I'm going to try and get this interior section here. Yeah, let's see how. I would love to see how it ends up turning out. And what I'll do is like when everything's done, I'll probably make a little Facebook video and show it off on there because I've been doing some more Facebook videos lately. It's good for like shorter videos that don't fit in anything else. If I want to do something for just like a minute or some kind of short little thing on there, it's like a better place. And plus I don't want to overload everybody with like in their subscription feed. Like, oh, I just had some random thoughts. Let me make a video about it, That's interesting. It came out real bubbly and spotty. I wonder how that's going to dry. Yeah, I love the idea of bringing in more range 2 attacks. I wonder if FFG has a plan for that. I almost hope they don't, because here's the thing. Actually, I'll go with my original statement. I almost hope they don't have a plan for that, because I haven't thought about this idea a whole lot. So what I'm about to say might sound dumb, but not everything has to be, tournament winning, right? Not every unit has to be competitive all the time. Okay. And I don't want like everything to be made like competitive advantage and like, all right, this is now the meta for range 2 stuff and overcomplicate the game for people who are just playing casually, right? And they kind of did a little bit of that with the wow, that's cool. We'll see. All right. I can do some parts on the barricades too. I've got extra barricade pieces. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try and get this little event part up in here. But yeah, like I'm okay with like Wookiees being good for like some more for different types of battle reports, like for interior stuff and for heavier terrain. I'm okay with things being better for that. Like I mean, for example, look at vehicles, right? Your tanks are going to be better with less terrain. That's wow. That looks really cool. Oh my goodness, I'm liking that so far. I've got one more in that style. Man, this is a fun way to spend an afternoon. If only I had the ability to play Legion with people. All right. Man, that is super cool looking. That purple, it stands out so much against that blue. That's a really, really nice look. At least for my palette, it looks good for me. And these guys, I think I'll do it in this little area right here. Ooh. Yeah, right there. All right, let's see. Let's check chat here in just a second. Man, I am digging that purple. All right, so somebody asked, did I primer these pieces? Yes. Now, with the barricades specifically, I used a Krylon gloss black. And I think that one has paint and primer in it. But if you're going to use, because these barricades, the base coat or that you're seeing on these, this is the color shift by Green Stuff World, and that's all over all of these pieces. And that's what you're seeing there. So, yes, so that's what's on there. But if in order to make the color shift really pop and work right, you need a glossy black primer. You almost want it to be mirrored. So the glossier, the better. Now these barricades were the soft plastic, so they actually took the finish differently than the other pieces did, because they just had a different look to them, and it was real interesting, but that's just the way it was. Wow. Man, I love that mixture. This one, it looks really weird, right? I'm going to put more in there because I just don't like the way that it's coming out. It might just need a whole lot because I'm almost asking it to pool, right? Almost like there's resin in here. Like I had some of that resin effects stuff for this river I was doing, and it would pool up, It has to kind of dry. This is gonna look really cool when it's done. Oh, they're all screaming. I can hear the kids in the other room screaming, man. It's Fortnite. And you're thinking, wait a second, aren't your kids in school? No, you're not. You know better. Nobody's in school. My kids, though, they're determined to get their homework done early, so this way they can play Fortnite. It's kind of one of the incentives to get them to kind of adapt to the homeschooling option, is they get no video games until they're done with all of their schoolwork. And so I've never seen kids more determined to like, all right, I'm going to power through it, and they get done in like 2 hours with all of their work for the day. And there's a part of me that doesn't think that that's right, but I'm also not really getting bent out of shape over it. Oh, that's starting to look a little bit better. I think I'm going to have to leave it sit this way. I think I'm going to do the top part too. Yeah. Range 2 characters are competitive if you know how to close the distance and get them in close. Well, that sounds great. It's not always easy to do, especially with the proliferation of so many effects that are giving additional suppression. You know, maybe before the days of Krennic and Death Troopers, it was easier to close the distance. But yeah, it can be really tricky. One example I'm going to give you, and I hadn't even thought of this, is in the latest Stabcast, they were talking about one of the recent games, and he's like, it was talking about the B2s he was running, and you know, like, you think they're great because they're Courage 2, but there was a bunch of suppressive weapons. I think they were running Hostile Environment or something like that. And long story short, AI attack ended up being a thing, and he had these units that couldn't do anything the whole game because they would shoot, and then that was their only action. They could not even recover because they were stuck having to shoot over and over again. And I'm like, that can happen to, you know, that can happen to a lot of units. You know, and that's just, I don't know, man. That's rough. I could see it being a thing now. All right, so I'm going to see how this dries. This is going to look very weird once it dries. I may have to come back and do another coat, but this one looks so much better. I love the look of that. These guys are these guys are turning out pretty cool. And our wash is starting to dry a little bit. Looks actually real good so far. Fun. Be really interesting to see how it ends up looking on the AAT whenever those do start shipping. So that'll be fun. And yeah, well, I think that's gonna do it for today. Just wanted to do a little terrain painting and hang out with you guys. I would like to thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let's see if there's any more questions here. Let's move some things around a little bit. Oh, by the way, if you got an airbrush, I got one of these things for the airbrush. This has been a lifesaver, and it's just like whenever you're trying to just filter out your airbrush, you just stick it in there and shoot, and the steam comes out of here. But it's just a way for you to like empty what's in your reservoir without shooting it all over like your foot. Because my first time messing with, maybe this is common knowledge. Maybe everybody knows that. Maybe I'm the dummy who didn't know that. But I got one this time, and it's awesome. All right. But yeah, so that much is cool. Let's see. Good command dispersion on the battlefield and running support becomes critical. Yeah, no, absolutely. Let's see. All right. Well, I guess I'm going to let you guys go. I want to thank you for hanging out with me. I will talk to you guys later. And as always,